You might have recognized that mischievous little piece of music. Perhaps you've heard it in Disney's Fantasia when Mickey enchants a broom and brings it to life. Well, that piece is called The Sorcerer's Apprentice, and it's by Paul Dukas. The instrument playing it? The bassoon. The bassoon is a versatile double-reed instrument, and it's been around for a really long time. I'm speaking to you today about the bassoon because I play the bassoon and was interested in learning more about the history and uses of it. Today I will speak to you about how the bassoon produces sound, a brief history, and the use of the bassoon in musical ensembles. The first thing I'd like to share with you today is how the bassoon produces sound. The bassoon uses an air column with keys, embouchure support, and a double reed to produce sound. First, the physics of the air and key combinations. The bassoon is a conical instrument that has an open end and a closed end. This means that when I play and put air into my instrument, the sound waves that come out the open end are in the shape of a cone. The way I control which note comes out of the instrument is based on my finger combinations. According to the Music Acoustics webpage of the University of New South Wales, the keys on the bassoon essentially change the length of the instrument. This means for every fingering combination I put down, a pipe of the same length would produce the same note. Next, I'll share with you how to properly blow into a bassoon. The way your mouth is shaped when you play a wind instrument is called your embouchure. For a bassoon, the correct embouchure is if you were to take in a quick breath like you were saying the word "oh" and then curl your lips around it. So that would be like this. This shape of your lips with your lips curled over is how you want to put it on the reed. When you place your lips on the reed, you want to make sure that there's equal pressure from the sides as the top to bottom. The last part of how the bassoon produces sound is the double reed itself. When I say the bassoon is a double-reeded instrument, that means that it has two pieces of cane, which is processed bamboo, that vibrate to produce sound. This is a bassoon reed I have made, and I will pass it around at the end of my speech for you to closely look at it. The combination of a strong exhaling breath and the embouchure support make this cane vibrate fast enough to produce a sound. Next, I will discuss a brief history of the bassoon. According to bassoonresearch.org, there are 4 major strategies of bassoon development. The first known instrument to resemble a modern bassoon is the traditional Chinese sona. It was first used as early as the year 200 AD throughout Western and Central Asia. This instrument was made of wood or brass and used a shorter reed than the one I have today, and it was a lot stubbier as well. The next instrument was the shawm that was used in Europe. It was popular throughout the 13th to 17th centuries as a part of the Renaissance. It was a very loud instrument, and because the sound carried well, it was used almost exclusively for outdoor performances, which is very unlike the modern bassoon, which has a limited dynamic range. In the late 15th century, the Bassano family created the first instrument called the kirtle. Historian Lorenzo Moricini describes the kirtle as a new wind bass instrument at the time of its creation. This was in contrast to earlier models, which were in the higher soprano range. In the early 16th century, the kirtle was introduced to England in King Henry VIII's court. The basic modern bassoon design was introduced around 1650 and only faintly resembled the kirtle. This instrument, now referred to as the bassoon or fagot, was used most often in churches. Some extra keys have been added to the instrument since then, but the basic design of the instrument has remained unchanged. The last thing I'll share with you today is the use of the bassoon in musical ensembles. The bassoon is used frequently in traditional orchestras, bands, and movie soundtracks. In orchestra music, there are typically two bassoons and two players. There may also be a contrabassoon part which is for an instrument that sounds an octave lower than the bassoon. The bassoon may define the cello part in orchestra so that it stands out more to the audience and they can hear what the strings are playing. It is also frequent that the bassoon will have a big solo by itself, like the Sorcerer's Apprentice that I played for you at the beginning. The bassoon is very good at creating different moods, and it can be used to create comedic effects or beautiful singing lines. In band, the bassoon usually takes on a slightly different role. Most bands have two bassoons, just like the orchestra, but they're usually doubled and slightly covered by other instruments that are louder, like the trombone or tenor saxophone. So bassoons are used there for their unique tone and create a thicker, fuller texture to what's already being played. Movie scores and musicals capitalize on that unique tone, and they use the bassoon to convey a mood or represent a character. This can be seen in Star Wars with the Imperial March, where the bassoon takes on Darth Vader, or in Hedwig's theme in the Harry Potter series, where it's the beautiful singing flight of Hedwig the owl. The musical Into the Woods often uses the bassoon also as an off-kilter bass line that keeps the show on a lilting edge. The bassoon has many uses and is an interesting and complex instrument. Thank you for taking the time to listen to me share my passion for the bassoon with you. Today I talked with you about the uses, physics, and history of the bassoon. The bassoon is an adaptable and enduring double reed instrument. So the next time you're watching Fantasia and you see a dancing broom, think of the real sorcerer who brought it to life, the bassoon.